Hello everyone, this is Renee Novak with Blessed by Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you a little Make It Monday. Today we're going to make this cute little box that is going to house one of these Cadbury eggs. So that is going to be our Make It Monday. For my sample, I used the True Love Designer Series paper and colored it with the blend, the Stampin' Alcohol markers, and just made a cute little bow and a tag on the top. So I'm going to share with you for some step-by-step directions on how to create this box, and I'll go through it, and then you hopefully can watch this as many times as you want in order to make your box. But I'm going to go through it step by step to make it a little easier. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to cut a piece of cardstock 6 1/4 by 5 3/8. And if you want to use cardstock and stamp on it, you can stamp an image. Or if you want to do like I did, I use the True Love Designer Series paper, and I scored on top of that. So the tip for scoring on Designer Series paper and or a stamped image is you want to score on top of whatever pattern you want to show on the outside of your box. So score it, and then you'll fold away from the score, making that your outside box. So along the 6 1/4 inch side, I want you to score at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8, and 5 1/2. Then you're going to rotate your cardstock in your scoring tool, and you're going to score at 1 3/8, 3 3/8, and 4 3/4. And that will give you your scored lines that you need. And your paper is going to look like this. You're going to have a section that has 4 even squares and 1 little one. And then the top's going to have 4 little ones and a tiny square. Now that will be the top of your box. And where the even squares, that will be the bottom of your box. And so I am putting the bottom of my box towards me and the top away from me. So this side over here where you have the skinny boxes, you're going to remove that first box, and then you're going to remove this box at the top with plus the little tiny square. And then you're going to want to miter along those edges of the tab that is left. That's going to be your side tab that folds up your box. Okay, so you want to fold and burnish along all your score lines, and you can cut and remove that first, or you can score and then cut and remove. But then you want to score up, you want to cut on the scored lines. You want to cut on the bottom pieces up to the first score line, and then on the top you want to cut down to the second score line, because you have these little pieces here for your first score line. So cut all the way down to the second one on your top and cut up to your first score line on the bottom of the box. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, you're going to have, this is what you'll have left. You're going to have your cut pieces. This is your bottom, those 4 even cuts. This is that side flap that you mitered. And then these pieces up here, those top pieces, on step number 3, you're going to want to remove this whole scored section plus a tiny little piece that you're going to cut off. You can just eyeball it. And that is going to be removed on your first one from the flap, first one to the left. And you're going to move this one out of the way. You don't want to do anything to the second. To the third one, you want to do that very same thing. You want to remove that whole score line plus a little bit of that piece. Okay? And then you want to miter, go ahead and miter up all of these edges. So you're going to want to cut up at an angle on all of these except this bottom piece here, which is the second from the left, you want that to be the very bottom. So you want to make that square so it will cover all of the other pieces. So again, remove this top piece, remove this top piece, miter up on all of these cut marks except for the bottom of the box, which is your second one over from the flap. Okay, so that's step number 3. This is what you will be left with when you have that done. You'll have all these mitered so they fit in your box nicely. This is the one I did not miter at all. And this is my side flap. These are the 2 pieces where we remove that little piece plus a little bit extra. You can see that it's now shorter than the rest. Okay, so now this step number 4, you can either remove this whole section or you can just glue it down to the base of your box. I just glued mine down to give it a little more stability, and it makes a little nicer edge on the side of the box, but you can certainly remove that piece. You don't need it. And then you want to miter this little tab here on the top, because that is going to become the flap that closes your lid. Okay? And so after you get that done, step number 5, we're almost done, is already have that flap glued down. We mitered everything. Now you just have to assemble your box. So I'm going to bring in my designer series paper, and that is the one I want to assemble for you right now. And I want to go ahead and fold that flap, and you want to put your sticky strip or your glue, whatever, your liquid glue, you want something solid, and you want to peel those off, and then you want to go ahead and adhere. Just fold your box over and give it a nice burnish. You can use your bone folder if you want, and that will secure your box side. Okay? Then what you want to do is just fold these flaps in, all those little ones that you mitered, and that very last square one will be to the back of your box. Okay, and so it'll automatically be the one you didn't score. And so we just want to go ahead and put a little adhesive on that. I'm going to grab my snail real quick and just, I would use liquid glue if I were you. I'm just doing this for quickness of video, but I would either use liquid glue or tear and tape to put this box together. So then the next thing you do is just grab your Cadbury egg, stick it right inside there, fold down those top flaps, slide that in, and then you want to grab your tag, whatever you did. I just tied a simple bow. I stamped Happy Easter in Memento Black. That is from the Range a Wreath set. And you just stick it right on top of there with a glue dot or something else, sticky strip. And then you have a cute little box for your Cadbury egg. So I hope you enjoyed this Make It Monday, and join me next week for another project. You can visit me on my blog at blessedbycards.com, where I post daily, and will post a Make It Monday video. Till next time, be blessed.